But I don't know. My mom really likes 50 Cent because she used to watch Power, that show he did. Or that he produced.
50 Cent is definitely problematic, but he's also, oh man, he's just so funny. Like,
yeah, he is.
When he was talking to Floyd Mayweather, like back in the day, like 10 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. He issued this challenge to Floyd Mayweather, and it was the funniest shit I ever seen. And I'm gonna just play it real quick.
Okay.
It's a special ASLELS challenge for you, Floyd. If you can read one full page of a Harry Potter book, I'll give $750,000 to whatever charitable organization you want to.
It's for the ASL challenge, but it's how old it is.
I love that he calls it an ESL challenge.
All right, Tory, say something.
Remember when we were supposed to have a podcast? Podcast. Hello, and welcome to the LEM'n'TEA podcast, episode 46.
I'm Lewis.
I'm Tory, and this is our new backdrop. Oh my god, we are outside on this, like, gay brick wall. Not gay by itself.
Outside on this
We're outside. This is totally a wall. We're outside touching grass. This is not a backdrop.
It's kind of like a precarious time to do outside stuff, especially like in this region of the country.
I don't know what you mean. We're totally outside. It's daytime. But anyway,
it's daytime.
Well, we're so well lit. We're lit.
This is probably the most. Yeah, true. This is probably the most well lit I've ever seen it.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm super excited though with how our setup looks. For those of you watching, you can see it. But for those of you listening only, we have an amazing. I say gay, and obviously, me and Lewis are members of the community, so we can say that. But it's
I think you can say gay even if you're not, though. Like I
unless
don't think
you say it in front of Wanda Sykes and she'll yell at you.
Or Hillary Duff.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, she won't yell at you though. I feel like she'll just gently chastise you.
Hi, I'm Hillary Duff, and I was on Lizzie McGuire.
There could have been.
That's it. That's all I got.
There could have been. She was in other stuff.
She was also a singer.
And she could have been in a reboot of it if Disney didn't screw that up royally. So
what happened with that?
So she was. They had like pictures too of like the whole family cast and like her with Gordo and stuff. And she was trying to push for Disney because I guess the premise was like she was a 30-year-old like divorcee or something. So she was like moving back in with her folks, and so she wanted to make it more adulty. Mm-hmm. But Disney was like Disney wanted to like tone it down for like a younger audience, when meanwhile Hillary's like this is appealing to people who grew up with us. Like they wanted to do like the iCarly thing.
So what did iCarly, I know that came back, but did they do the same thing where they kind of like hit the same beats as when you were a kid or something?
Yeah, but there's like a couple more swears and stuff, and they're adults. Like they're adults.
Totally fine to swear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Miranda Cosgrove, she cusses a little. I don't know if you know that.
Miranda Cosgrove. Miranda Cosgrove, really. Ooh. Right?
But yeah, so it was a mix of like the old stuff, but it was like they're adults now. So like the situations aren't like I can't even think of what one of the situations was for the high school. I never watched
iCarly.
I love iCarly, so.
It's nothing against her. It's just at that time I was trying to be too cool for school. And I was getting into a lot of older shows, more like MTV reality shows.
Yeah, too cool for Carly.
I was watching VH1. I thought that was so cool. I'm like, I'm watching Flavor of Love.
Oh my god,
who are these fucking people? They're nuts.
But anyway, so I got way off topic. Anyway, so
I did that.
If you're listening only, we have a new setup here, which is a rainbow brick wall. I feel like really captures the essence.
The Kool-Aid Man comes out.
Oh yeah,
but he's all gay. He's all gay colored. He's all rainbow colored.
Oh my god, I would love a rainbow flavored Kool-Aid.
Why haven't they done it? Can they not do it with? It's probably too hard to get all the food coloring, right?
Unless you do like a slushy sort of thing with. God, I'm thirsty now. Hey, welcome to me being pregnant and hungry all the time. All the time. I am now Lewis. I am the one with the snacks. There's a muffin behind this tea.
You know, people had forgotten that I ate on the podcast.
You've been doing really good, and you haven't. But you can eat if you want. Like we sit here for well over an hour, and.
But I used to get lambasted for that, and I'm not
only by me.
Get lambasted. I also asked a couple people, a friend of mine.
Oh really?
Why, and he's like, I don't like when people eat during the podcast, and I said fuck you. And then I kept eating.
Oh, yeah, do what you want, whatever. We're here for more than an hour, and also we have drinks and stay hydrated. So, but it's what my child demands of me to just have food within arm's reach now. So,
Your baby is like the alien from Men in Black, the one at the end that comes out of the guy's face.
Oh my god, yeah. So instead of me giving birth a few months from now, I'm just gonna be splayed. My face is gonna be splayed open, and a fetus is there.
The baby will come out and be like blinking like this.
Oh my god.
Big baby eyes.
So.
And her bald ass head.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, or not. I was born with a lot of hair, so.
Well, you have a lot of heartburn, and I know it's a wives' tale, but they say that's like that correlates.
God. Yeah. I missed my life before heartburn. I didn't even know what heartburn was. I didn't know there were two types of heartburn. Like there's one that actually happens in your chest, and that's where the name comes from. And then there's my type, which is like a pressure that almost feels like nausea constantly, just right in the soft part of your throat, your esophagus, I guess.
I get both.
Oh no, that's horrible.
Mix.
Really? Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
That sounds like a horrible time.
It's okay. I try to avoid foods that would do that to me. So.
That's good. I can't avoid foods because foods don't cause it. I wake up and have heartburn.
Well, yeah, yours is... I don't have the same heartburn that you have. You have baby-induced heartburn.
I have well-meaning coworkers who are like, avoid these foods for heartburn, and I'm sitting there like, it will be like, I don't know, like an hour before I eat lunch or 3 or 4 hours after I eat something, and then it's like heartburn time. Like heartburn. It's nothing, whatever. But anyway.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. So.
This is weird. My foot's asleep.
Oh.
Already, so I need to keep it up. I'm sorry. It's very weird.
I mean, this is your cool guy stance.
What's going on, guys? I don't even care about this. I'm not even paying attention.
But anyway, I'm really stoked about how this all looks. For those of you watching the past few episodes, I think you guys maybe know we've been playing with different backgrounds.
They're all been bad.
Not all of them.
Bad rounds.
Bad rounds. We're just trying to make it work. I said this off of the recording, but I really liked how our old setup looked. But then you had to go and move houses, so I mean.
I know.
So now we're making it work with our
I think
LGBTQ friendly backdrop.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, like, I think this is actually better than the old setup because it actually, from what I can see here, and that's not much because I'm blind as fuck, right?
Okay.
Like I can see us here, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how we look against it, if we're crisp and clear or whatnot.
I sure hope so.
But it seems like we are, and it seems like it's a little bit more sharper than before. And if that's the case, guess what? We're already winning.
Sponsored by Sharper Image.
Sharper Image.
Because we are Sharper Image.
God, I don't even know if they exist though.
But yeah.
So the baby.
Da baby.
Baby.
I finally kind of have a bump now. I've been told, because this is my first go around with it, that because I've been worried. I'm like, am I not eating enough? Am I not eating right? Like I felt like I wasn't size appropriate for what I should be right now. Well, when this comes out, I'll be 5 months pregnant. Oh
my god.
So I'm just shy of 5 months, and I cherish things that I can still do that I won't be able to do a few months from now, like cross my legs or lay on my stomach or whatever, and I can still do those. And I'm like, should I be able to still do this? It's like I wasn't sure. So, but now
I think everyone feels like you do when they're in that predicament, and they're like, I don't know if this is correct or not. But
and 2 months from now, I'll probably be like, God, I wish I just like didn't question.
Yeah.
How I didn't have much of a baby belly, and now I do, and it's weird. And she's kicking, which is weird. It was weird. I was driving today, and me and my husband were just talking about. We just happened to be talking about the baby, and it's like she heard us talking about her, and we were just like, "Hey, Wanda Sykes, knock it off," or whatever. So
knock it off.
So it's a very weird experience. Like I feel bad because some people. I think I said this on the last episode, but it's because some people are like euphoric and they're like, "This is amazing! It's the miracle of life," and literally, like,
I don't know if anyone feels like that, really.
Well, some people, some women do.
Like that lady
experience.
from fucking I don't know, 19 Kids and Counting. Maybe she feels that fucking way, but I feel like most people are like, this is not. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like it's the miracle of life.
Yeah.
But it's fucking awful, and I don't want to do it.
Well, not awful, but my first adjective is always weird. Like, the experience is weird. Like, one day I didn't have a
creature
child kicking inside of my stomach, and now I do. Like, and I'm not saying it's not bad, and I appreciate the miracle of life and everything, but
okay, so come on,
it's weird.
I appreciate the miracle
of
life.
I do.
Life begins at conception.
Okay. Whoa. All right. Well,
I'm sorry.
Do you have some? Do you want?
Me? No, I can't have kids, so I can't talk.
No, this hasn't stopped you yet.
What, from talking?
Well, you said life begins at you just said life begins at conception.
That hasn't stopped you yet. Dun dun dun. Cool.
But anyway, so not much more of a development since last time. I was listening to our season premiere. I don't really know what to call it.
I don't know. It's an episode. I was coming off of, had been in Florida. I got really sick afterwards with like a cold, nasal congestion. I didn't realize I literally sound so sick and tired in that episode. That's what I was telling you.
I didn't realize. I was like,
the whole time I'm like, you want to be here? Like,
because I felt better than I had that whole week. So I was like, I'm pretty much fixed. I wasn't. So for those of you who listened to the premiere episode, thank you for thank you for listening, because I sounded sick. I can breathe out of my nose.
No,
though,
you just sounded congested. You just sounded congested. That was it. God. You weren't sneezing, but you were tired. And I do mean it. Like, if I had time, I would do a super comp of how many times you yawned during the episode.
I think I suppressed most of them. It's hard to suppress a yawn though when they really just like they like tear at you, like they just pry your jaw open. It's horrible.
And if somebody yawns, you're gonna yawn, right?
I try not to.
I know, but it happens. It's subconscious. Like, it's gonna happen.
I'm not gonna do it here if I can help it. But anyway, so gotcha. I feel and sound a lot better, and
well, that's great.
Look a lot better with this LGBTQ friendly backdrop. So I think all things considered, I feel good about how everything is now.
I am going to consider. I feel good.
Okay.
And I feel a lot better than I did last time. I was also congested last episode too.
It's just something in the winter air in New England.
I don't know what that was. It was awful, and it really fucked me up for a couple of days. Like, it was really bad.
And another friend of ours also had the same thing where she had a head cold and nasal congestion. Like,
it was the same thing.
We don't like, and when we recorded, that was the first time I had seen you for well over a week, I think.
Yeah.
So I didn't give it to you, and we didn't see our friend, so we didn't give. So it's just
like when we saw each other, we both had it, but from different ends of
from different
wherever.
Points. Mine was from Florida. Yay.
Mine was from California. No, I don't know where mine was from.
Sorry, you were saying I cut you off.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I was saying I'm sorry.
I was talking about how good it felt with everything.
I was considering buying a backdrop for, like, I want to go back to streaming some stuff.
Oh yes.
And I think I am, now that I see that it actually looks like it works.
You could use this.
I could, but I wanted to separate it from this.
Well, at least all you need to do now is just buy a backdrop rather than the whole setup. So thanks, Amazon.
We'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll do it. Who knows?
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool. I don't know, man. It just looks so good compared to.
We really don't boast about this ever, you guys. No, ever.
I don't boast about any of my technical skills with anything, but like, we just decided. We talked about this earlier. Mm-hmm. We're like, we're gonna invest a little bit more. We're talking about like buying a new camera and stuff like that, but we didn't want to do that until because you're going out soon. Right?
Oh yeah, I proved you wrong, by the way, because your whole like I'm calling it now. This is gonna be your last episode.
I was wrong. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I'll apologize to you right now, Tory. I hope you can accept my apology. I'm so sorry that I said that this would be the last episode.
I'm dedicated
I meant the
to the
next
cause.
episode after this one. It will be this is the last episode right here.
It's not.
This is the last one.
No, it's not.
Anyways, it's the last one.
No, it's not.
Well, we should name the episode that. Like, one of the episodes should be called "It's the Last Episode," and it's not.
That's so mean, though. That seems very clickbaity.
It is. I love it. No, I don't.
But anyway, so like,
sorry.
No, you're fine. But yeah, backdrop good.
Backdrop good.
Curtains bad.
Curtains very bad. Don't ever use curtains as a backdrop unless you're a late night TV show. I don't know.
The curtains, again, if you've seen our past episodes, the curtains, they look like they weigh 90 pounds.
They're heavy as fuck.
And the rod that holds them up looks like it's made from like tin foil with how much it bows.
It's also humongous. It spans from one end of the wall to the other, which is way too long to run a fucking curtain rod.
Yeah.
Like.
So we're moving on up in the world, guys, is what we're saying. So.
Moving on up.
So.
That's copyright. I shouldn't say that. Whoops. I'm not saying anything.
It's fine. You just said 3 words in a tune
That's
that is
right.
nondescript to anything.
You're right, and it was less than a couple seconds, so I'll cut it out.
Okay, perfect.
I won't.
So anyway, that's what's up.
We have a muffin right here.
I do. I gotta wait.
The muffin.
I have to wait at least 15 minutes for my heartburn medication regimen.
Is that why you had the timer?
No, that was for us.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay,
it helps though.
It's fine if that's what it was.
Yeah.
All right. So you wrote some stuff down.
I did. So that's the status on myself with my soon-to-be child. I'm not to put you on the spot, but your kids are turning 7 soon, which I think is wild because they're still such little peanuts.
Sorry, that threw me off because my phone vibrated and it's not in a place where I usually keep it. So it was. Yeah.
Professional.
What the fuck is this? Sorry.
Your
they're turning 7.
Woo!
Turning 7. It's amazing. Time goes really quick when you have a kid, and like everybody says that too. They're like, I'm not gonna keep on this too long because I think we talked a lot about kids last time, and I don't want to.
Oh yes, in the inaugural, I don't want to make a pregnancy / child podcast episode, and that's kind of what it became. Sorry guys.
That's fine. They're gonna be 7. It's incredible. I don't know where the time went. Everyone says that. It's true though. You'll feel like that too.
You find that all the cliches people say are like actually true, and it's like, oh shoot, you weren't just saying that to like read off a Hallmark card. You do actually mean the time. You don't know where the time goes or whatever.
It's all perception because when you're a kid, like a year is, and when you're 5 years old, a year is like 1/5 of your life, right?
Mm-hmm. Jeez, yeah.
So 20% of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't seem that long. Like it seems quick.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm sorry, it seems short because your life has been so short.
Yeah.
At that point, when you're older, time flies by.
Yes.
Because you understand how things work. You don't have as much whimsy, unfortunately, as a child would.
Oh. Cherish it, children.
And it will go by quick. So keep it in mind. You're gonna have rough patches, but eventually you'll get through them. Obviously,
it's just, I don't know, it's just wild because sometimes occasionally, or like even just before we recorded, you showed me a video of your little kids. They were so little. It's like, it just seems like it doesn't seem like it was what, like 5-ish years ago.
No,
maybe that was.
They also lost some time because of COVID. So COVID kind of came in when they were 3.
I still have like, I was gonna call it time blindness, but that's what people have been making fun of from like TikTok.
Time blindness?
Okay, so there's this TikTok video that went viral that I only know about because it came onto YouTube Shorts. Because YouTube Shorts are where TikTok videos go 2 weeks after the fact. Expect YouTube Shorts from us, BT Dubs.
Damn. BT Dubs.
BT Dubs. It was the original name for BTS.
Is that really?
No.
Okay.
Imagine. There was this girl who was crying on camera, and she was, and I can't, that's the thing too with some TikTok videos. It's like, I can't tell if some people are like really being like, genuine. Because some of the things are like really, oh God, I don't want to say it like I'm going to say it, but hyper woke kind of. So this girl, she was like,
I understand that. Yeah.
She was saying she called her possible employer because she was asking if there was accommodations for time blindness.
Oh, I remember this shit.
Yeah. Which is literally just being on time. And she was like really mad that they wouldn't make accommodations for people. And she's like, I don't think we can function as like people who want to work if they don't make, if they don't allow us to, like, if they hold us to such a strict schedule. And it's just like,
that's such a hard one to get around because, like, even if that is a thing, right? Which I don't know if it is or not.
But there's so many it's an alarm. Get an alarm.
Yeah. There's a lot of ways to get around it. Like,
blind people have alarms. Deaf people have alarms. Like, there are alarms for anybody. Literally anybody.
A lot of people who have ADHD say that they have this. Like, they just don't keep good track of the time.
Yeah.
Which I believe you have said that you have that issue too. And I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
And I don't have ADHD. I just really don't have a good. God.
Sure. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Time is hard. I have I have a wake up alarm, and then I have an alarm that tells me to get out, a 10-minute warning to get out of the house, which like to get my laptop.
Get out of the house.
Yeah, I think it is just called get out of the house, or leave or something like that. But there are ways, like,
Yeah.
if I'm late for work, like, that's my fault.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not blaming any sort of like fake disorder, like time blindness.
Time blindness.
Like, that's so, I don't know. So anyway, I was gonna call the passage of time blindness, but now I'm thinking of that stupid TikTok video.
I've seen that video. I remember when it came out like last year or some shit, maybe even more than that. But I remember seeing it, and it was pretty divided on some fronts. But honestly, like even if that is a real condition, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are ways around it. Like you said, there's ways to get through it. I'm sorry, we're a society that unfortunately we deal with time. Like you work on a hourly schedule.
Yeah.
We have a 24-hour clock.
Yeah.
Everything is run by time.
There are things called payrolls, and
Yes.
if you do not meet the quota of hours you're supposed to work every week, you don't get paid what you're supposed to, or maybe at all, since you are kind of entering into an agreement that you will work an amount of hours per week. So anyway,
Wow.
I went off on a tangent.
You're on the side of the bosses here, huh?
Well, only in that sense.
Yeah.
You know, so
It sucks. Like this is how life is. I don't know if time blindness is a real thing, but like you just gotta.
There's definitely other things in workplaces that there should be. I can't think of any, so don't ask me, but that there should be accommodations made for.
Well, now I have to.
I can't think of any now. Mainly ones that hinge on legitimate
Disabilities?
physical and mental disabilities.
Yeah. Okay.
This is not something I would put in that category. But I'm also not an employer. I'm just an employee, so.
I think if people can manage to get to work on time with an alarm, maybe you should too. I don't know.
Yeah. So.
I don't have a hard stance one way or the other because I really just don't give a shit because I just either am late to work or I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm late to work, guess what? I'm late to work, and
Right.
I'm not gonna be like, you can't accommodate my.
Yeah.
But
I have time blindness.
I have time blindness of 15 minutes, and it's every day.
Yeah.
And I need you to try to accommodate that as best you can. Thank you very much.
The solution to that would just be to wake up 15 minutes earlier.
True.
So
True.
there are ways. But anyway, gosh, I feel like we're going off on more tangents now with clear minds than we did in the past. But because we were talking about your children, but whatever. Anyway, so
You want to talk
time
about
goes by
something
really fast.
Yeah. So talking about my kids, they're gonna be 7. We're not doing anything too crazy for them this year.
Well, because you guys just went to California.
Correct.
So
they want to go to a theme park at some point, and I think we'll take them. But it's too cold right now to do that.
yeah,
And nothing is open.
Those
so.
that darn half of the year, October through March, is a really hard
It is.
time to
They were born in a month that's usually pretty cold here. So.
Well, they were also born early. You know, if they just weren't born premature, they could have had an April birthday, and then they could just be going to, I don't know, Six Flags or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
It's their fault.
I'm just
really. No, you're right. It's their fault. Mostly my daughter, because she's the one who did it. So.
Oh, really?
Well, she's the one who was out. Was she the first one out? I don't remember who was out first. I don't remember how that played out because it's been so long now.
Yeah.
I remember
7 years.
Yeah. But I will tell you that absolutely it was her. She made the escape, and it was her fault.
Oh, the Great Escape.
The Great Escape.
All right.
So yeah. Yes.
Ta-da.
They're 7. They're gonna be 7.
They're 7.
Now you want to talk about stuff that isn't kid related, right?
Kind of. So.
Let's hear it.
All right. Now, you're going to remember, because like I said, I was sick and tired. Not sick and tired, but sick, pause, and tired during the last episode. Did I talk about my parents' trip to Florida for the wedding I went to?
You talked about your trip to Florida too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I talked about mine.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite thing to say out of context now regarding my parents, which are they survived a plane collision.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which, not clickbait, they legitimately survived a plane collision.
I remember reading about that.
Yeah, it was on major news, and then Ashley, who is like most TikTok savvy person I know started finding videos of people talking about it. So that's how I know that it was very serious if it made it on TikTok.
That TikTok, goddammit.
Yeah. So my parents were
Hi.
on a oh, our guest is back.
Don't come here. Don't do it.
My parents were on a plane from JetBlue to
Honey?
I'm ignoring her.
I can't ignore her because she knows.
I can get up and scare her.
No,
Do you want to cut this out?
no, it's part of the show. Okay, there she goes. She's over there.
All right. My parents were on a plane, JetBlue plane from Boston to where were we going? Orlando.
Florida.
To Orlando. And it was cold in February in Boston. So the plane was de-icing, which I don't even know what the process of that involves.
Stop it.
See, out of context, it just sounds like you're telling me to stop with my story.
I did not hit her. I did not. I was just shooing.
Oh, likely story. But anyway,
Shut up. All right.
that one you were telling me to stop. All right. So anyway, they were de-icing, and when I think of de-icing, I don't even know what that entails. To me, it's like you take a bunch of hair dryers.
Yeah, that's what they do. They plug in a bunch of
they just put it on the plane.
You know.
But they were sitting de-icing. All of a sudden, they got hit by another plane, like on the tarmac that wasn't supposed to be there.
Whee!
Yeah. So then they had to deplane everybody. And this flight was found out that it was a flight going to Las Vegas because that was also the weekend of the Super Bowl. So I'm sure the people going to Las Vegas were a lot more angry about having this happen than the people
Super
going
Bowl.
to Orlando.
It was scripted.
It was?
It was scripted.
Why? So there would be some big Taylor Swift moment?
So, oh God. All the conservatives and like fucking people were
that's
just
right.
like yelling on Twitter about how it's scripted because Taylor Swift is in with Joe Biden and like.
Yeah, totally.
I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to talk about any of that stuff, but I can't help it when it comes to that kind of stuff. It's way too funny to me. I have to say
It's so dumb.
That's why I say it.
Yeah.
I love it.
We only talk about dumb politics here on the podcast.
It's scripted.
But anyway, it was Las Vegas plane's fault. My parents had to wait. It wasn't actually too bad, 3 hours. But then they had to drug test the pilots, apparently. You know, just in case it was the Boston pilot's fault, who was just sitting there doing nothing. They had to drug test him anyway.
I have a friend that's a pilot. I should ask him what the repercussions are for a pilot that, like the other pilot.
We don't know what the other. They were investigating. It's being investigated by the FAA. So
he won't know obviously, but he'll know like what might happen. So
yeah. So anyway, my parents survived a plane collision. The most anticlimactic.
You make
plane
it sound like it was so like.
But it's rare.
It's true. What you're saying is true.
Yeah, but it's true. And
you're
like they say that too. They say crash.
They know.
I say collision because that sounds less extreme.
That sounds better.
And it is true.
A plane crash means like a nosedive into a mountainside.
Yeah. Right. Which was not
or a
the
couple
case.
of buildings in a large metropolitan
Anyway,
area.
so that was not what happened to them at all.
Or a field in Pennsylvania.
Okay. Or a 5-sided building.
I don't know what that is.
A pentagon.
Oh. Okay. No, I'm just bullshitting.
Okay. I was like, okay, never mind. Anyway, so that was my story. And like I said, I don't know if I told this already last episode.
You didn't. Not this part.
Cool. Great. So they and it's rare, so it's kind of cool for them to be like, yeah, you know,
I was in a plane crash.
I survived a plane crash.
It was moving, but yeah, I survived it. It was awesome.
So yeah, and it's rare for it to happen. So I guess if you're gonna brag about,
you should get them like.
I survived a plane crash, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt. And it's just JetBlue logo on it.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, I should.
That's awesome.
My mom's birthday's coming up. If she doesn't watch the episode, maybe I will do that. So anyway, that was my story with that. Have you ever survived any harrowing experience? Do you want to talk about?
Let me think. No, seriously, let me think. I might have.
I'm trying to think too that I put my own self on the spot and I can't think of it.
This is the most harrowing that I can think of right off the top.
Okay.
One is I was in an actual car crash, like a real big car crash where the car was totaled and my mom was pregnant at the time with my brother. It was awful.
Yeah.
Other than that, I was in this building. Oh my God. This was right after 9/11, like,
Oh, ooh.
and people were gathering to be like, yeah, we're here for America.
Oh,
They were doing like an
patriotism?
American,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
patriotic bullshit.
Yeah.
And of course, I was, a child, so I went to it with my parents. And there was like a bomb threat or something in the building.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
But it ended up being nothing.
In
but,
Florida?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
But it was just somebody being like, bomb! And then running away.
I'm not sure what it was,
Yeah.
but it wasn't anything that was... We weren't hurt, and nobody was hurt, and
Yeah.
the building didn't blow up, so...
Okay. I thought of mine, but...
Yeah, let's hear it.
So I went on a trip to Europe once with a bunch of other... this is like not a student abroad program, but it was students from different parts of the country. So we were in Paris, and against my better judgment, there were already a lot of people in an elevator in this Paris hotel we were in, and they were like, Tory, come on, you can fit more. And I'm like, okay, because I'm small and short, and I'm like, all right, I can fit in there. And then I'm reading the it's in French, but I'm reading the capacity thing, and it says 8. We're 11 people in this stupid elevator. So we're like, oh no, we're a bunch of stupid Americans in this elevator now. And we're supposed to be going to the first floor to meet everybody else. And it gets stuck in between floor,
Ooh.
the top half got to the first floor. We went down past it, and then it was one of those double door elevators.
So the back and the front open?
Yeah.
Oh,
so somebody was like,
let's pry it open.
yeah. So they pried open the back, and
And
it was just
brick wall.
concrete.
Yeah.
I freaked out. I like crouched down. I was like sweating. That was like my first legitimate panic attack ever. And then finally, it wasn't long. I think it was maybe 5 minutes because we hit the emergency button or whatever. And they had a maintenance person that came and like kind of hoisted the elevator up. And we were met by like angry French hotel employees, which is fair.
Why were they angry?
Because we were more than 8 people in their
Oh.
posted 8 capacity person elevator limit thing.
That shit,
So
like 8 people... This is how you know that
There's a
they're not
reason.
fat there in French. Like, there's not a lot of fat people. Like, and the reason I say that is
Yeah.
because you've seen our elevators here. They're like, we have like tons capacity.
that's true. Yeah. Some of them are either like, it's
Okay.
either like, I don't know, tons or pounds, or sometimes it's like the amount of people or the weight or whatever.
Okay.
But we do base it off more weight than just people. But
Listen, I don't think your weight added a lot to that. I think it was just a shitty elevator in France.
I mean, would it have happened if it was just the 10 people? Maybe.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. So now I genuinely have a fear of elevators.
That's why you hate them, huh?
Yes, it is.
That's the reason. That's
So-
the origin.
Yeah. And it makes me feel a little bit better that I do have like a villain origin story. Like, I'm not just afraid of elevators because I'm afraid of them for no reason.
Like if you went on the Maury show and they brought out an elevator.
I mean, so there's like a horror movie that was based on an elevator, like called Hellevator, I think.
That's awesome. I love that name.
I don't know, because it makes me think of my own thing, because like I was okay-ish until that back door got pried open, and I was like, we're freaking stuck.
But that's how most elevators are like that, though. They're like, it's like a concrete wall or something.
I
It's
know.
part of the building.
I know. I didn't know that, I guess, at the time. And we couldn't get the front door open because that was like the main door. So it was just
Sure.
the back door being opened. So now while I can, because I'm pregnant now, I do stairs.
Escalate.
Yeah, I love escalators. My my level limit usually is 6. So like if my hotel room is more than 6 floors, I
Go up the stairs.
well, no, if it's more than 6 floors, I have to take the elevator.
Oh.
Because I don't want to walk more than 6 flights up the stairs. But and then
I've
also
seen you do it before, though. You've done it.
I know.
Okay.
Out of fear.
I know.
It depends on how much luggage I have too. There's a lot of factors that play into this stupid phobia of mine. But
Well, it's not stupid. I mean, it's something that actually happened. Like, you were stuck in a fucking
Yeah.
elevator. I have never been stuck in an elevator, but it is a fear of mine. Also, like the cord on the elevator snapping and falling, like, I don't know. That's another fear of mine too.
because and that it has happened. It doesn't happen very like
Did it happen to you too?
no.
okay.
But just in history,
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah.
it can happen. I don't know. So So anyway, that's my most harrowing life experience. It's nowhere on par of surviving a plane crash like my parents, but you know, we all have our thing, I guess. So
I love that they're calling it a plane crash. I love it. It just sounds like some tragedy, like the Malaysian fucking airline flight or some shit. I love it.
So anyway, I wanted to share this story because I think I don't know. I think it's cool.
I'm glad they're okay.
Yes.
I'm glad they survived that horrible plane crash that they were in.
My mom legitimately, she texted me and she was like, was in
a plane crash.
Well, she didn't say that for exactly. She was explaining the situation, but she started it off with, "We're fucked." And I'm like, what does that, Mom? What does that mean? What do you mean? So, and then she explained it. So but it's always great when you get a text from your mother and she's and she's like, "I'll let you know how things go with the traveling," and she starts it with that, and I'm like, oh my God. So
I love how brutally just straight to the point she is.
Yes, me too.
Because that's how I am with a lot of things. I'm just like, here it is.
Yeah, she's always been very like,
fucking love it.
She's very like sympathetic and compassionate, but she's very straightforward. She's the kind of mom I aspire to be.
She's a good person. I just love how direct she is. Because you don't get that from a lot of people like that. Especially like when you think of like a mom, like you're like, oh, they're gonna be like, she just cuts right to the fucking chase.
Oh,
she's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Nope, we are fucked. I was in a plane crash. We're barely hanging on here. That fucking plane thing that happened like a month before you guys took your flight with that
when the door came off. Yeah, none of us were in Boeing's 737s, I think it is. So nuts. Luckily that was never going to be an issue. But I'll move on to the next thing. But I want to share one of my favorite pieces of advice from my mom.
Go for it.
I should say, well, this is around her birthday, so happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday.
One of my favorite pieces of advice. I had a rough senior year of high school, and her piece of advice to me was, don't let somebody ruin your day because they're being a bitch. And I was like, yeah, you're right, Mom. Like, I don't know why. It was just such a cool piece of advice, and it was true. It could have been said. There's like the sitcom or like TV moms or something that are like, you know, don't let other people influence, you know, how you. But she was just like, if they're a bitch, like, don't let them impact you or whatever.
Yeah.
So
get out of here. Listen, I need you to. I love you. You need to go away. I'm doing this for your own good because I will punch you out of the room if you.
This is playing the role of a lion tamer right now.
Yeah, so. like fucking Kepler.
Sorry,
KEP 1.
Oh, Kepler. Yes. They're gonna break up in July.
Oh my God.
But anyway,
whoopsie.
That's my piece of K-pop news, I guess. But anyway, so that was what I wanted to talk about with that.
Cool.
So we didn't talk about any current event things last time because we had been away for 2 months, and we went through 3 holidays, 4 for me, including my birthday, 2 trips, and a pregnancy. So a lot happened. I feel like we can maybe talk about some current events.
Okay, I know what you're looking at right now, and I really want to talk about this because I have a lot to say about it.
Yeah.
And I think we should just go through it. This might even be most of the episode, which I would be fine with, to be honest.
Yeah. So if you have been on the internet within the last week, and I guess week, and I say week, what I mean is from like February 26th to when we're filming now, which is what even day is it? March 2nd. You may have heard about the Willy Wonka experience in Glasgow, Scotland.
First of all, your people.
My people, like, I know.
What the fuck is going on?
I know,
What is happening in Glasgow?
I had this apparently.
Okay, so
I have
regale us
as professionals, as maybe you guys are used to. I have an article up because I want to be very factual and informative. So
great.
There was a Willy Wonka experience in Glasgow, and they used AI images to portray what the exhibit was going to look like. And also they kind of made it seem like it was something endorsed or like sponsored or like anywhere tied into the Willy Wonka movie that just came out.
With Timothy Chalamet?
Yeah, so because the timing of it and the way that it looked, so people were kind of like, oh, this is related, like this is approved by, I don't even know the studio who made the Timothy Chalamet movie, but so for a luxury price of $44.
Okay.
You could buy a ticket
Okay.
to what they called the immersive attraction. And it kind of looked legit. I mean, you could kind of tell that it was
Okay.
like the backdrops were kind of like, it seems like maybe they would be like a backdrop, for example, or things that like actually existed. Like it's not impossible to make like giant candy canes and lollipops and have AstroTurf and like a chocolate fountain or whatever. So the props kind of seemed legitimate, even though the background seemed very like pumped up, maybe in Photoshop or whatever.
But spoiler alert, they were not.
There was none of that. It was basically just this like pretty much empty warehouse with
A couple of decorations, right?
some props that looked like they were from Willy Wonka, and some maybe looked like they were from Party City. I'm reading this one article. It says the event reportedly charged $40 for entry, advertised with AI art, and said it would be a journey filled with wondrous creations and enchanting surprises at every turn. That part was true.
It was definitely full of surprises. I don't know if they were enchanting, though.
I mean, enchanting is subjective. And one quote says, kids were all dressed up and crying, waiting for what they thought was going to be a magical experience.
There's one part of this that I really love. I know you'll get to it later, so I will not spoil it. But,
okay.
Man, this is amazing. I cannot believe that this happened. Actually, I can, but I cannot believe they charged like that much money, and then like the result is whatever I put on the screen at this point. You could find those decorations apparently. Like you could rent them. Like anyone could rent them.
Giant candy canes are not new to anybody ever. I'm sure some other things like giant lollipops are not the new ever.
They had a rainbow archway or something, right?
Or something.
Some sort of archway with balloons and shit.
Yeah. And then some parents called the police also.
Wow.
Because it's basically like, it's false advertising.
It is. It's kind of fraud. It looked very barren in there when I saw it.
Yeah.
Can I tell you my favorite part about this, though?
What's that?
The kids, apparently, like, it's a chocolate factory, right? So you expect you go in there, you're going to get chocolate. Nobody got chocolate. There was
really?
no fucking chocolate.
Ooh, okay.
Okay? Let me tell you what they got.
Okay, what did they get? I'm reading kind of about it, but go ahead.
Are you?
Yeah, well, a little bit. Go ahead. I want to know what you know.
I don't know anything.
Yes, you do.
The article knows more than I do. Read the article first.
There was a single Oompa Loompa.
There's two.
Oh, was there two?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they only keep showing one. But in the pictures that were taken of this one Oompa Loompa, it looked like she was like ready to serve drinks begrudgingly. Yeah. Like she just didn't look happy to be there.
No.
And there was an actor who was hired to play Willy Wonka, who apparently said that he was given a script, but it was also generated with AI.
AI garbage.
Yeah.
He did an interview or something.
Yeah. And then, okay, I'm reading this one now. Viral footage showed a character called the Unknown.
The Unknown.
What is that? It's the Unknown.
Is my favorite fucking character.
What the hell? I didn't even hear about this part.
You didn't hear about this part? Watch the video right now.
That's not professional. I'll watch it. No, I'll watch it.
Who cares?
Well,
this
okay.
is not a professional show.
What? We are very professional. I'll watch it play as I guess. Oh my god.
He comes from inside the walls.
That's a masked, cloaked figure with shaggy hair.
It looks like a murderer. Like it looks like someone who's gonna murder you and take you away.
I love how this article says who isn't related to any of the Willy Wonka movies or Roald Dahl authored books.
He's not.
What the hell? And he just pops out of a mirror. What the hell?
He pops up from behind a mirror that's propped against the wall. Yes.
That's so
He is
weird.
the Unknown. There's also a video of him meeting a kid and the kid screaming because why wouldn't you be screaming when you meet the Unknown?
House of Illuminati is responsible for the Wonka event and other experiences that appear to be advertised with AI-generated art. An investigation found that the director has published more than 15 books with AI-generated text. And the director said he was sorry that, quote, his vision of the artistic rendition of a well-known book didn't come to fruition.
It's a lot of words. Jeez.
We fully apologize for what has happened and will be giving full refunds to each and every person that purchased tickets.
So they made no
They
money
said
on
on the company Facebook page, which apparently is now since been removed. People are calling it an AI. It reminded them of Fire Festival in the sense of just extreme false advertising, even though nothing was generated with AI. But there were a lot of images that kind of portrayed it to be like a very luxurious thing, and it was not. So
it was supposed to look like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
Like, it was supposed to look like that movie. Or Willy Wonka.
I wanted Willy Wonka, and all I got was Cheapy McCheapskate.
I got the unknown.
That thing's... I didn't know about the unknown. That's horrifying.
It looks very horrifying. It's just like a wig and some like faceless, featureless
like
mask.
Metal mask. Yeah.
Looks like a wrestler almost.
Like Undertaker, kind of?
Kind of.
That's horrifying.
But horrifying. Okay, let me tell you some more stuff since you closed your article. Now I can.
I can bring it back up, but let's go after you. I want to know what you know.
So there were two Oompa Loompas, right?
Okay.
I know that there was only one pictured, and
Yeah.
I'll show the picture at some point.
She looks miserable.
I
understand, though.
Yeah, of course. She's standing behind this like chemistry-looking set.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that's supposed to be like where the candy's made, whatever.
Yeah, remember when the Oompa Loompas just like started making cocktails behind a bar?
Oompa Loompa, doopity-doo.
Yeah.
I've got a single jelly bean for you. And that's actually what they gave him, was a single jelly bean. They gave him they had a fucking test tube, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had a test tube. So that way they could keep the candy in to know that each kid was to get like only one jelly bean. They got one jelly bean and a quarter cup.
That's horrible.
A quarter cup of lemonade.
That's horrible.
There's a video of a kid getting it and he looks disappointed.
Oh, I mean, understandable. But the rest of the article just talks about how to not be scammed by AI or art or whatever. Yeah, that's horrible.
I'm so glad it happened though. Like, I'm sorry that they went through that.
Oh,
but I'm so glad it happened. It's hilarious.
It is. I can't get over that unknown. That's
The unknown.
That's freaking wild.
They need to give him a spin-off movie. Like, he's got to come
right?
back.
Yeah. Oh my god, make him a viral character. Give him his own indie movie now. I'll watch it.
So like, we were talking because we have a friend that she comes over here a lot. She's always up in like the newest Twitter shit, whatever. Mm-hmm. She told me about this, and we were talking about how the fact that like Willy Wonka, or not Willy Wonka, but Roald Dahl,
yeah,
wrote a sequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yes, he did.
I didn't read it, but
it's not. I mean, I haven't read it either, but from what I hear, it's not.
I want to see it. I would rather see that than a million fucking remakes of the same shit.
Oh, you mean to be made as a movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's crazy. They go into space. Okay. They're in the glass elevator, right?
Yes.
I'm not gonna recap
it just
the whole
goes to space.
They stop at like Charlie's house with all his fucking sick, infirmed grandparents or people, whoever.
Yeah, that Weasley rascal Grandpa Joe.
Grandpa Joe, the piece of shit. They take the whole bed, they put it in the elevator. The elevator shoots off into space, and they meet they go to a space station. They land on a space station. The Vermicious Canids are there. They're like these aliens. And they fucking go ham. They kill people.
Oh, my God.
I know.
That sounds awesome.
I know. I want it to be a thing.
What are we doing making a Willy Wonka origin story?
I'm telling you, it's not as interesting as that sequel would have been. And then you could do a whole fucking tour.
Right?
And you could have the unknown in there. You could give him a part in there.
Oh my God. I hope that actor that played the unknown gets paid very well.
I'm going to be the unknown for Halloween.
Oh my God. That'd be
I'm going to carry a mirror with me.
That'd be awesome. So yeah, that, I mean, and just AI discourse in general has been really popular online for the last few months. So that brought about all this more discourse about AI art and all that stuff.
AI.
And I don't know, so I'm not an artist. I can't speak on it the way that other artists have been, where they have been expressing, I think, to an extent, legitimate fear and concern about AI generated art and how popular it is and how much it is starting to look like handmade art or like human made I'm not as invested in it being like so problematic, I guess, just because it, like I sent you a few days ago, there's this author who I think clearly used AI generated art for his book, because one of the characteristics of AI art is they don't know how to do hands, which is funny because like that's also something that real artists struggle with too, is like hands and fingers. So it's, but
oh my god, he just like me for real. Like
yeah, right. But human artists usually remember that there are 5 fingers on each hand of a human. AI has not really gotten that far. The book cover that I found,
AI's stupid.
They meld fingers together, or sometimes there's 4 of them. Like
They look like
big meaty claws.
you ever seen Nightcrawler, the X-Men?
Oh yeah.
How his hands are. They look like
Yeah.
that sometimes.
So that's usually the giveaway. Otherwise, you and I were saying too, like I don't know what is generated by AI and what isn't. Usually it's just the hands for me.
I have a hard time telling on some things. If it's a video too, it's a little.
The
Usually you can
deepfakes
tell.
have been getting, some deepfakes are pretty.
Oh, deepfakes are, man, that.
I don't really watch any of them. I don't go out of my way every time they're like, someone made like a deepfake of a nude deepfake of some whoever. It's like I'm not gonna go look for it or anything. But they're getting a lot more convincing, which is horrifying.
I'm pretty sure this is headed to the realm, if it's not already there, where you're going to start getting calls from people that you know, or like videos from people that you know saying that they're in precarious situations. And
Yeah,
then, like,
that's what apparently robocalls have been getting more like that. And there's also AI generative text. It's all stuff that like in the right sphere can be used for a good or recreational purpose, but then there's people who are just kind of abusing it, which and like I said, there's a concern that it's gonna like take people's jobs or livelihoods and stuff. Like there's talks from some companies, animation companies, that AI is going to make like 50% of human staff irrelevant because they can get the AI to do it for cheaper, which is kind of a crappy way to look at it.
I think as far as AI comes, it is absolutely going to do a lot of that. But the problem is that it's not regulated now, and we don't know how to regulate it because, at least for our country, we have a lot of people in power, in positions of power, who just don't understand technology at all. They don't even know how to check their email.
Yeah.
Like, I'm serious. They don't know how to check their email. They don't know how to do any of that shit. And they're making decisions. And now we need people in... I'm not trying to make this political, but we do need people in positions of power that know what this is and, like, what's going to happen.
What the young people are doing.
Yeah.
But really.
But seriously, like, they need to be able to regulate this and put, like, actual
Yeah.
laws into place to say, like, if you do this, you can't...
Yeah.
Like, that's illegal. You can't do this. You can't use it for deepfakes. You can't do this for this.
I think the problem is just that there's so much new technology like on the come up, and things happen so much faster now more than ever with that sort of thing that like
a year ago, like,
that Congress and
time,
whoever can't keep up. Anyway, like
true, but we need to start somewhere, right? Like we need to like, at least try. A year ago, there was that weird video of like Will Smith eating spaghetti. It was really fucking weird.
Yeah.
But like now, you could get that same video, and it looks pretty convincing. Like in a year's time, AI has come a lot farther than we thought it would have.
Yeah.
It's very scary, honestly.
Yeah, I think for
in that regard,
like if people want to make or generate AI art and sell it, as long as it's like not infringing on somebody's existing art style or copyright or whatever, I think they should be free to do that. If like self-publishers want to use AI art for their books. My gripe with the one that I had mentioned to you was just because it was published by Penguin. It's like, you should really check how many fingers this poor like child on your cover of your Penguin published
Penguin's
book
a
has.
powerhouse publisher. Like they're so well known in the game that they should have really been on that. If that's the case, you know.
Yeah. That's my. I mean, it's not confirmed, but it's also just like the hand alone was really weird looking. Yeah. Using AI in the same sense of like Photoshop, where it's to enhance certain things rather than be like faking people out into like the Willy Wonka thing.
Yeah.
I think in moderation, and we haven't. It's so new that everybody just wants to. It's like very all or nothing. So we haven't found a way to moderate it yet because we're all so excited about this. So.
On the art side, I don't want AI generating pictures or commissions and taking shit away from actual artists who put their heart and soul into that. Like, I think that's stupid.
Yeah, I think AI for like personal use.
Sure,
but not for like exploitative.
We have to find a way to make AI a tool in order to do things and use it as a tool, not as a like an autonomous thing that just kind of takes over, right? Like we don't want that.
No.
Using it as a tool to do things that are monotonous or like just take a very long time, like maybe like processing a video or like shit like that. I think it's fine using it as a tool, but it's like we have to figure this out.
Like use it to make your thumbnail or something.
Yeah, it may be.
Ish.
It depends.
We're still figuring it out.
We need to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's the key. It's like we have to figure it out. We have to like come to a consensus. We have to agree on shit in order to get things done. Because it's just going to get worse. It's just going to get more advanced. This, like, in a couple months from now, that shit's going to take off too. Like, it's just going to start becoming a fucking snowball that just gathers speed and goes downhill. And then you don't want to be caught in the middle of it and not have any fucking regulation or say on, like, what to do.
I think at the very least, there should be something that lets the consumer know that like the image you are looking at was generated by AI or something like that.
Right.
There was a really crappy video game that came out last year that I did not play, but I watched people play. It was the Lord of the Rings Gollum.
That was a bad one.
And so the company allegedly were being accused when they put out an apology of using AI generated text to write their big apology because they misspelled the name of their game. They wrote the Lord of the Ring. And there's a way, like, I use Canva for work and it has like an AI generated thing. It's kind of scary how it can be like we were making fun of directions you got for our new rigging system that seem like they are like terribly translated English, but this was pretty fluid and everything. I mean, it's artificial intelligence. It's a learning based system, but some of it, like, I guess if you read, like, if I read that Gollum statement back, it was just very much like, we did not achieve the quality that we meant to, or and it didn't seem very personal or whatever. And then the misspelling of the name of your own game is also kind of like
sus,
a little sus, but it's also and that's another way that it can be kind of abused if people just don't want to put in the effort to make a sincere apology. I guess it's just, we're screwed, I guess. So I
have used AI to write customer responses. Not at the current job I'm at, but the last one I was at. It was very like whatever.
Yeah.
But I would proofread them. I didn't want to write them because they were monotonous and boring. And stop it. Stop it. It's not
the
that
Lion
good.
Tamer. I think there is a way to have human and AI work in tandem, like using AI and then like proofing it, whether it be like syntax or the number of fingers on a picture. But
syntax.
But it also reminded me of another computer generated thing in the arts that people were worried were going to like destroy an industry, which was Vocaloid.
Okay.
Because the worry, especially from Japanese artists, was like that the use of computer generated vocals, and also they said instruments too, but like I feel there's been computer generated instruments for forever, but computer generated voices would ruin the quality that real musicians put into the craft with their own voices and everything. And there was, I guess, a slight worry about a takeover, but that hasn't happened. And the people who are fans of Vocaloid are like not delusional in the sense of being like, they know it's computer generated. They're not being told that it's sung by a real person, and it doesn't really sound like it's sung by a real person.
Yeah, it sounds like a computer.
Yeah, and people like it that way, and that's the example that I thought of was just as far as a computer generated thing in the arts.
So it is happening now. I've heard a lot of examples, especially recent examples, where a lot of songs are just being shit out and like generated by AI. However, I will say this: you can kind of tell, like, you can tell the tone and voice of somebody doesn't really sound exactly like if somebody was actually singing from their heart.
Yeah.
But it is kind of crazy how it is getting really good. Like, it's getting good.
Or like note changes that seem impossible from one note to another for a human voice to do.
Yeah.
Although it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like not really, but like auto tune. That just sort of like you can tell that it's a little computery. Yeah.
It all depends. Like auto tune itself is another tool that you can use, and you should use it sparingly, right?
Yes, yes.
Unless you're T-Pain and you're using it strictly as a vocal effect, and you can't actually sing. Like, which is what he did and what he does.
Go on to twitch.tv and subscribe to T-Pain.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's so good.
He is wicked awesome.
But will it get there to that point? Yeah, it's gonna get there, and it's gonna get there faster than we think. I don't know what the solution is. I have no idea, but I do know that it's a problem, and it does need to be regulated in some way. Yeah,
I don't think it's not going away.
No, but we're only getting more into this shit.
But I think it's just so shiny and new that it just is like building up and snowballing, like you said.
It is.
So
we're headed into the unknown.
Oh my god. Full circle. All right. There you go.
Outside of the mirror.
Oh my god, the other side of the mirror. So that's my whole thing with AI. So like I don't get all as mad as I see people on like Twitter about it.
Would you like to use Grok?
Oh god. What is
It's AI, and I didn't have this button for the longest time.
No, me either.
I just got this fucking button.
I got mine like last week. Yeah.
And here's Grok, but you gotta pay for that shit. You gotta be a blue check mark on Twitter to have it.
So here's the thing: how come I don't have that? But how come I have that button and I don't have a blue check mark? Wouldn't that make more sense for me to have that button if I had a blue check mark?
Because if you see the button and you're like, "What the hell is Grok?" and you're like, "This seems kind of cool. I want to ask it a question." You might actually subscribe. Now do it.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah, of course.
Oh Jesus.
It's all bullshit. Don't use it. Also, it's not really that great.
So why is it called Grok? I'm assuming it's
He's stupid.
I have to assume maybe it's an acronym, but it's also Elon. So like,
it's probably just something he thought sounded cool. That's what he does. He thinks it sounds cool. That's why he names his kid fucking X to the 10th.
Yeah, X to the 10th power.
X gonna give it to you.
Carry the 2 minus the 1. As a New Englander, the only thing I think of when I hear Grok is Gronk. Yep. Rob Gronkowski, formerly of the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
All I think, like, such a stupid.
It does.
It also reminds me of shows like barbarian-based shows.
Yes, Grok.
Yes, it just sounds like a caveman name. It's just so weird.
What you want, and then you type in your query, and it's like.
I'm curious, actually, if it actually means anything.
Go ahead. Yeah, look that shit up.
I just
How many minutes have we been going on
for? Just over an hour, so we're still good.
Just over an hour already?
Yeah, time flies. You never know how fast time passes by you.
Damn, girl. Okay, so we got just over an hour, so we got about 20 minutes left. What would you like to talk about?
Well, first of all, I just want to see what Grok means real quick.
Grok.
Okay. All right, so apparently according to
the Google. It stands for
Merriam-Webster.
Merriam-Webster.
We're going official. All right.
Okay.
So it's a verb. It is actually a word.
Wow. Okay.
It means to understand profoundly and intuitively. Okay.
This is the real thing. This is the real word.
Yeah, it's on Merriam-Webster's website. So, and then it has like its tenses. So you could say like grokked or grokking, which sounds really like not PG.
Did he just want this so that way he could have a thing like Google?
I don't know.
So you'd be like, no, just grok it.
By definition, it does kind of fit, I guess, what AI is, which is to understand and be intuitive or whatever. But who says grok?
Nobody. It's not going to catch on like Google. Google is just so ubiquitous. It's everywhere. If you say like, I'm going to Google this, people know.
Yeah, it's funny. I was thinking about this the other day. It's funny how some brands are, there's a word for this, I can't remember, but there's how some brands are just ubiquitously like the item, like
Band-Aid.
Yeah, like like Band-Aid.
Kleenex.
Yep. Nobody says I need a tissue. Well, not nobody, but most people say like I need a Kleenex or something, and you know what they're talking about.
Sure.
It's so weird.
Where
Cola usually is just Coke.
Coke, yeah, can I have a Coke or a Pepsi? Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, there's a word for it. Oh,
For sure.
Q-tips.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
are a brand. They are not the
Mhm.
thing itself. It's just weird how that happens.
Sure.
And Google didn't start out that way because I remember I think it was the documentary I was watching on this guy who like cheated his way in the UK version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire to the $1 million, and one of the questions was what is, and you know what is horrible? I actually don't know what the number in Google is.
So I looked up the word Google with my son, and it is the number 1 followed by 100 zeros.
Yes. And that was a question on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And this was like before Google really took off. So there was like a actual struggle with what people, and also Google isn't spelled the way that it's spelled.
No.
It's spelled Goggol.
Yeah.
But looking back now with our 2024 brains, it's like, oh, haha, I know the answer to that. That's so easy. How are they not getting that? Meanwhile, it's like 2002.
Yeah.
Like everybody had dial-up internet still.
There's a time when we didn't know all that shit. I mean, we had Ask Jeeves and stuff like that, but like,
Oh, I miss Jeeves.
you want him back?
I do, but his retirement, he had a retirement.
He did?
It was, he went on vacation. I remember the endings, the screen.
Are
where
you
it was
serious
like,
about this?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes. He had like suitcases tucked under his arms
Oh.
and stuff. Yeah. So he's
It's
retired.
time to
I'm happy for him.
retire. They could bring him back with AI though. They could bring his ass back with AI.
That's the thing too. Also, there's holograms of dead celebrities too. So like this is not like a totally unknown concept. Like there's Tupac concerts
the
now.
unknown.
I'm calling it now. The episode's going to be named Into the Unknown
Okay.
after the Frozen 2
I'll try to see
song
if I
in
can
the
remember
Frozen 2 movie that I've never seen. Actually, I've never seen Frozen 2.
You might when the baby is born.
Yes, I'm gonna have to get Disney Plus and
Oh my God, not
watch
that.
some. Well, no, I mean, we were using Josh's sister's account, but now she's using her fiance's account, so she ditched hers, and now we have to pay for it. That's okay. There's worse things too.
I'm gonna interject something real quick before you bring up a new topic.
Yeah.
This week, I think coming up, and I'm not sure if it's this week or next week. Might be next week.
Okay.
In theaters, for the first time in a long time, they are showing the end of Evangelion, which is so fucking cool.
Oh yeah,
can't wait
I'm
to see
watching
it.
that.
Now, I know I'm not gonna say anything, and obviously you can't see this until you see everything.
Okay.
So you're out.
You know what they're also bringing back into theaters?
What's that?
Shrek 2 for
Are you
the
kidding?
Yeah, for the 20th
I never
anniversary.
saw Shrek 2 in theaters. I'm gonna go see it in theaters.
I think I only ever saw. Actually, I don't think I saw any Shreks in the
I
theaters.
saw the first one in theaters. I thought it was so funny.
But anyway, so was there? I'm sorry, I interrupted. Was there?
No,
more
I
to-
just wanted to bring that up because you're watching Evangelion right now, and oh my God, I just can't believe it. The timing is
Did
so
they
good.
just bring it back just to bring it back, or was there like an
I think there's an
anniversary
anniversary coming up or something, but God, I can't even say anything about it because
I know. I'm
you're
only on
not
episode
there.
12.
I know. When you get to the end, we'll talk about it. But
Yeah, it's only a 2. Well, I guess it's technically 2 seasons because a season in
Yeah.
anime is like 13 episodes. So,
Mhm.
so it's only 2 seasons. I like I love the art style. I love it
yes,
so much.
it's
so
a
great.
good blend of like really sharp looking, but also like
It's just
it
so
has that old
nostalgic.
nostalgic
Yeah.
looking. Yeah.
I won't talk too much about it
No
because
problem.
I know you'll want to. When I finish it, we can definitely talk about it.
Of course.
But it's one of those shows that Josh and I had always. Well, me, I'm the one who's like, Josh, we need to watch this because it's always one of those shows where
It's a classic.
if you ask any anime fan what their favorite anime is, you're gonna hear a good chunk of the time people say Neon Genesis Evangelion, and I'm like, I never watched that ever.
It's a very strange show, but it's very good.
I know some of the memes from it.
Honey, you have no fucking idea.
I want context for them. I really don't understand some of
You are
them.
going to get there, and then when you get there, I'm going to show you more shit, and you're going to be like, I can't believe they did that. And I'm going to say, they fucking did.
All right, perfect. Good.
Okay.
Yeah. I want that.
Good.
But so yeah, we're watching that. I'm trying to watch like anime that or to have Josh watch anime that people consider classics and I've never seen. Like he's never seen Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. That's one of my that
Yeah.
might be my favorite anime.
So that's
So.
and that's also one of the few that I think anime fans across the board say like
It's good.
that the dub is better than the original Japanese, and I think so too. When you've got
Steve Blum.
Yes, I was just gonna say I can't remember his name.
Fucking the man, the man, the myth, the legend.
He's the voice of one of my characters in one of my other favorite anime, Samurai Champloo. So
Oh yeah.
yes, and he's
Yes.
Tom from Toonami, so he's pretty iconic.
Steve Blum is a childhood legend.
Yes.
Like honestly, he's so fucking good. Toonami. Oh.
Like-
God.
Like if Tara Strong was like everybody's like god tier childhood voice actress, like Steve Blum is, I think I'm there's others, but like everybody's god tier
Yeah.
like anime voice actor.
For sure. I think he's very good, and he's also, like you said, really good on Samurai Champloo as well.
Yeah, I want to rewatch that one again too.
That's a great one. If you haven't seen it
I-
with, or if Josh hasn't seen it, you should.
No, we watched it together.
Good.
And the music, which turned me on to Nujabes, who
Yeah.
rest in peace.
With the legend.
Yeah, got hit by a freaking car. What a horrible way to go. Great music
I know.
though, and has like people still use his influence for like music, or they sample him and stuff, and so that's
he like changed the fucking game.
true
like,
true
honestly.
legacy. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, like that's what I listen to if I want just instrument, and I don't really listen to instrumentals, so but that's what I listen to.
Good.
And
Good choice.
my other favorite fun fact about Evangelion that I know is that it was Robin Williams' favorite anime.
That's crazy, and
Yeah.
he was so depressed. It makes sense. Oh my god. Okay, given what I know about the series and the creator of the series and everything else, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
He was genuinely an anime fan in general, and that was his favorite.
He was a nerd.
Yeah, he named his daughter after
Zelda.
Yeah, and people were like, "Oh, like
Like Sabrina.
like Zelda, well, or like
No.
Zelda Fitzgerald
Yeah, yeah.
or whatever." It's like he's like, "No, like the Legends
No,
of Zelda."
like the legend.
And his daughter, who just released her take on the origins of like Frankenstein's monster. She just directed her own movie, which I really want to see. So she's making her directorial debut.
That's cool.
She's also quick to clarify too that she's named after the video game character.
I like that name, Zelda.
Do you remember the commercial that he and his daughter did for? I think it was
The Wii or some shit.
or maybe the DS. I thought wasn't it like the Minish Cap or something,
don't
something like that.
It was definitely for a Zelda game, and
Yeah,
they were
oh,
like
yeah,
playing
yeah.
Zelda together or
Yeah.
something.
All I can remember is like, wow, I've never seen him with that wild of a beard.
Yeah.
Like he had a pretty wild, like
He
grayed
did.
beard going on. It was kind of funny.
Man, what a fucking legend, huh?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Rip to him too. Hopefully he's making
Honestly.
good music with Nujabes.
Hell yeah.
And in one of his few darker roles, 1 Hour Photo,
That one was, yeah.
he plays he runs
Phototech.
yeah, but it's in like yes, and it's also in like a supermarket or not supermarket, but like a
pharmacy
superstore
or some shit, right?
Yeah, and he's like, there's a scene where he's talking to a kid, and they have Evangelion
Yes.
figures, and he actually like says it correctly and everything. It's like,
did.
and now I'm wondering if they like if he asked to have that put in, or like if I don't know, because he was a fan, so I just thought it was funny. But
It was in his contract for the movie. He's like,
I need
I
to
don't
sh-
even really want a lot of money. I just want to be able to shout out my favorite anime.
I need to show the Ava one.
Please
It's
do.
in my contract.
Yeah.
So
Eva 1.
or whatever the heck it's called.
No, you're
I'm
right.
still learning. Oh, good, yay!
Eva 001.
I know about first, second, and third children.
And there's Eva 002,
Yes.
which is
Yeah, there's like the what is it? Well, the 001 is the prototype, right? Is that what they call it? Yeah.
yeah.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
So,
And then 01 is the one that Shinji's in.
yo, Shinji, get
And then
in
02
the
is the
robot.
one that Asuka's in.
Josh hates her.
I love Asuka so
she's
much.
like, but she's like the ultimate like tsundere, like
She is like the maybe not the prototype, but she pretty much
one of the
like,
most notable '90s tsunderes. Yeah.
yeah. When you think of Tsundere, you're thinking of Asuka.
Like, do I find her annoying too? Yes, but like, I think she's interesting, and also like, I don't know, she's funny. She's
She's
funny.
a child, and she's like a prodigy, and she's
Yeah.
she's got a lot of fucking weight on her shoulders too. So
So,
and she's German, so take that as you will.
Guten Tag. So, but yeah, we'll definitely talk about Evangelion when I catch up with it.
Okay.
And then my last note of thing I had to talk about, which actually doesn't really pertain to me.
Okay.
It's kind of at your wife's expense.
What?
Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth came out.
Okay.
and there's a collector's edition. I learned everything about Final Fantasy through her or you, or just through
I don't talk about
other
it.
friends. No, okay.
I'm like,
Never mind.
I don't really talk about it, so.
Well,
It ain't me.
okay, never mind. So then from her, there's a collector's edition with this, like, I know it's Sephiroth.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tall figure, right? Like,
I
it's
don't
got
know.
this big ass.
I have no idea. I haven't seen
Really?
it. Mm-hmm. I have not seen it. I know that she bought it. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's, I feel bad because there's anybody who bought the collector's edition apparently didn't pay. She said $100 for extra, like, 1-day shipping. Their packages have just been stuck in Las Vegas since last week at the
Rip
time
the
of
legend.
recording. So I'm hoping by the time this episode comes out, that freaking package gets to her.
So what specifically did you want to bring up? Just the fact that
It's happened. I don't know. It seems like they've been advertising it for a while.
Sure.
It just seems like a weird thing to drop the ball on.
Well, yeah. Typically with game companies do this all the time. Game producers, manufacturers. It's like why you can't find the Switch, or like why you couldn't like find Switches in stores, and like back when the Wii was popular, you couldn't find the Wii because it's like
they didn't make enough, you mean, or
I don't know if this is the same case as that, or this is just really bad planning,
or both,
or maybe a little bit of both. But it just seems like they just never account for shipping and like things like that. And Square Enix, I've ordered a couple things from them because Ashley is obsessed with that company and what they put out.
They make good stuff. It's just sometimes
they're not timely.
Yeah.
And they've never been timely. I ordered an Aerith figurine that actually came in for her.
Oh,
it was nice. It was very nice looking. It didn't come in time. Like, it came in way later after I ordered it. Way later.
Bummer.
To the point where I like forgot that it was even coming.
Oh, really?
And then like it was like, hey, we're gonna ship this out. I'm like, oh my god, I thought I had gotten a refund on this because I didn't know it was still even happening. But they just, I don't know, they don't know how to figure this shit out, or they don't care, or both, you know. So
well, some people were saying that it was because like places like UPS are really understaffed or something.
Could be.
I guess it could be. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know if the people who paid that $100 shipping also are having this problem, or if it's just the quote unquote normies who paid the $20-something
normies
for regular shipping.
I don't know. I haven't looked into it enough to know.
No, I just I looked it up on Twitter just to see if anybody else, if this was an isolated incident or not, and it was not.
It's not.
So I don't know. I don't know. I just feel bad. I understand what it's like to get really hyped for something and then it just not come through for one reason or another.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like a preventable reason. It's seemingly preventable like that. But so I don't know much about Final Fantasy, but I sympathize with your plight, Final Fantasy fans, and I hope you get to play the game soon.
It's a rebirth of many kinds.
How poetic.
Man, if you're a Final Fantasy fan at this point and you're
Final
struggling-
Fantasy.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Our hearts go out to you, I guess.
Thoughts and prayers.
It's really an amazing game from what I hear. It's really good. I follow a journalist who played it ahead of time because, you know, he's a journalist, he's a game journalist specifically. And he was like, yeah, it's amazing. It's a great game. It's got so much to it. I've played 45 hours and I'm not even done with it. Like, you're going to get your money out of it. It's going to be great. And they really, really did. The game has been out for almost 30 years now, like that.
Yeah.
The first one, at least. But, like, they really did a lot to make sure that they didn't leave shit out of it from what people knew. And then they did.
Yeah.
They're doing a thing where they, and I don't know anything about the story, but they're changing the direction of what people think the story is going to go.
Okay.
Because if you want to play the old story, you'll just play the old story, right?
Yeah.
So, it seems like it's going to be an incredible experience. I hope she gets her package soon because this is all she's wanting to do since she heard it was coming out.
Oh, I know. That's why I feel so bad.
Me too. I feel horrible.
Yeah.
I even told her just to buy a copy, and she's like, "Nope, can't justify that." I'm like, well, you spent a lot of money on the other stuff.
Right.
I don't think this is going to break the bank at this point. Just fucking buy it.
Do it for you.
Do it for you.
Do it for her.
Do it for her.
But yeah, so hopefully when this episode comes out, which should be the second week of, I guess technically the second week of March, this is a old story, and you have your game and your 2-foot Sephiroth figure or something.
All right.
Yeah.
What do we have for time?
We are at cool 1 minute and 23. No, 1 hour.
1 minute. Oh my God.
We've only been recording for
Jesus
a minute.
Christ.
Holy moly!
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Probably wrap it up
Yes.
around this time.
So, oh my gosh, I keep hitting the mic.
Boop.
Boop. So that's also a new thing too. We are doing somewhat shorter episodes. We're doing this go around.
I think it's just easier. It's easier to edit. It's easier for
people to listen to.
Because it's not overly too long, and also the baby don't like long stuff. The baby.
That's
baby
true.
bored.
It's also for my benefit. It's very selfish.
No, that's not.
I'm kidding. No,
I wasn't saying it like that. I'm sorry.
No. I'm kidding.
I hope that's not how it came off.
No. It's not. It's not. I promise it's not. But yeah, I think it's I like the kind of change.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know if you like it in the comments below. I realized also afterwards.
What's up?
Also, like how we ended the podcast last episode. We promoted our own socials. We didn't promote the podcast socials.
Smart, huh?
We were, listen, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
So,
you want to do it now?
sure, why not? So,
Go for it. Oh,
All
you
right.
didn't even do a K-pop corner. It's been 2 episodes. You didn't do no
oh,
K-pop
okay.
corner.
I'm going to do a very, very, very quick K-pop corner. First of all, hello,
Go.
Wonho. Second of all, Lewis and I were very behind on K-pop music, and February was pretty stacked for like girl groups. So we did a good chunk, or female singers. So we did a good chunk of singles or albums or whatever. And I think we listened to the main 3 were G-Idol, Twice, and Le Sserafim. We listened to NMIX too. A couple songs, not their whole mini album. And I think the rousing consensus between both of us was Twice. Yes. Which was kind of shocking, actually. Not shocking just because, only because, like, we've been so into G-Idol. So I kind of thought that they'd be what
G-Idol
we
has
led
been
to them.
consistently smashing it out of the park, though. Not that Twice hasn't, but Twice is pretty established. And G-Idol, for me anyways, kind of had something to prove, I think.
I think ever since Tomboy, they've been getting, like, higher and higher ground.
Tomboy, set the bar, I think.
But I think as far as, like, I'm going to say mainstream, which sounds so stupid because they've always been mainstream in the K-pop sphere. But, and that was also their big comeback after Soojin left, which we'll never forget Soojin.
But she
might forget us. I don't know what was the saying?
Oh my God.
I know, sorry.
So I think the saying was this. I don't remember entirely, okay?
Oh, shoot.
It's starting to leave me.
Because we haven't said it in so long.
What was it?
Something never left. G-Idol never left Soojin.
Soojin left.
Oh yeah, Soojin left G-Idol, but G-Idol never left Soojin.
That's right.
Okay. Anyway, but I found Twice's album. I think it's called Youth. I think
it's called With Youth.
With Youth. Okay, I was like, it's something because they YOU capitalized,
yeah,
stylized. I really like albums. I like any album that I think sounds good, but I really appreciate albums that have like a cohesive string throughout all of them. And especially if you like sort of like synthy retro sounds like I do and you do.
Yes.
A lot. This album's really great. Mini album, it's like 6 songs.
It was very good though.
It was solid. I loved all the songs. And I don't think I've never actually listened to a Twice album. Usually I just listen to their singles.
Yeah.
But this is a really solid album. And G-Idol's was, they were definitely experimenting with different types of songs. I wish they would make songs longer than 3 minutes. Like every song but one song was like under 2 minutes and 50 something seconds. It's like,
this is what you, I say this all the time.
Yeah.
This is what you do when that's what hits on the charts. Like,
I know.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right.
Yeah, I know.
But it's okay.
I knew you were going to say that.
This is what happens when you make it acceptable to just chart with like a less than 3-minute song, and then that's what people want to hear. They want quick and easy, in and out, and sometimes that works, right? So sometimes it's fine. It's not a problem. But when it's a problem, it's a problem. It's a
problem. I think oddly enough, one of their standouts to me, that's now become our inside joke, is "Wife."
Wife is so weird.
It's weirdly catchy and lyrically it makes no sense, and that's not usually something I look for K-pop anyway.
Who cooks cream soup? And why? And like, what is that?
Soyeon does. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's such an earworm song. I'll wrap this up though by saying I think they all have high points of all the 4 we listened to. We listened to NMIXX and they had their title song, which I've now completely forgotten the name of because I'm so unprepared for this, but whatever.
It's okay.
But they had an NMIXX change up in it where they make it like their own signature thing now, and they announce it, and it sounded really good. I really liked it.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I think that
I'm glad they leaned into it.
Yeah, whatever they're doing is working. And
then the Seraphim, we listened to Easy, and I think that one's kind of like a grower song. Like the more I listen to it, the more I'll get into it. Like it grows on you. Okay, I'm done now. The K-pop corner is closed. There's no more corner. We're done.
Oh God,
it's done.
Wow,
I'm done. Pull the plug.
So
anyway, that's basically if you like attractive ladies singing
about being wives.
But not being wives.
Not being wives.
And not being easy and having some change ups and with heartburn. Every time I think of One Spark from By Twice, because they say my heart is burning, I'm like, heartburn.
Oh, heartburn.
And then I'm like, why would people ever say your heart is burning? That sucks. That shit sucks.
They're talking about something different, Tory.
I know, it's about love. I get it. But whatever. Anyway, so if that's your style, I think you can't go wrong with any of the 4 of them. It was a really great month for K-pop girl groups.
Great job.
And maybe someday G-Dragon will come back. I don't know if G-Dragon will come. I am. He's supposed to this year. He said so. I have a feeling Wonho's going to come back from War before G-Dragon releases anything. Wonho's supposed to come back
from War
later this year. He's in the army. I don't know.
In case war were declared.
Yeah, so that's my bet, though. I think Wonho's going to come back from the military before G-Dragon releases anything. But I want to be wrong. Please, G-Dragon, prove me wrong.
I want to believe.
I want to believe. And that's my K-pop corner. So now we're at a solid hour and a half.
Woo! Okay.
So, if you like what you heard and if you like what you saw, because we look so fancy schmancy now.
It looks nice.
Please consider subscribing. Likes and comments are also really great and appreciated.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
But no pressure. But really no pressure. We appreciate anything, really. In the most non-desperate way I can sound.
Very true. Did you want to do the socials for the podcast, or?
Sure. Yeah. Feeling more lucid now than the last one. Cool. So yeah, and if you want to check out our socials, we are on Twitter. It's still Twitter. After these 2 months, we still haven't called it X because it's stupid. So is Grok. But if you want to check out our socials, it's Twitter and TikTok at LEM'n'TEA Podcast for both of those.
Pretty cool.
If you want to check out any of Lewis's tweets and or past streams, you can go to twitch.tv and or Twitter at unorganized. And maybe he'll stream again.
Maybe we'll see what happens.
2024.
Probably not anytime soon, though. I'll tell you that.
I think you will stream before G-Dragon releases.
That's crazy. But I think that's an easy bar. Come on, man. Anyways, if you want to see Tory's stuff, old YouTube stuff, you go to youtube.com/AzarathsFlame, AzarathsFlamee. God, the pressure is crazy.
Yeah, sorry.
The pressure is so crazy. Or twitter.com/trippydes, TRIPPYDESU. I only spell it that because, I don't know, I'm assuming a lot of people that watch this are probably weebs. No, you don't have to. It's literally you.
Last time I tried to spell it, I remember I screwed up a lot. I screwed up right at the beginning.
It's fine. Anyways,
yeah.
Go to those places. Find that content. Watch it. Watch Tory, I don't know, watch reality shows on her YouTube channel or cry about K-pop stars or something. I don't know.
Damn, all right. Well,
I'm sorry. I'm sure you did more than just cry, but
that's really that's really the crux of what I do entirely. I don't cry all the time.
Well,
just sometimes.
I'm canceled. Anyways, good night. Goodbye.
Good night,
I like
goodbye.
the backdrop. The backdrop looks great.
Let us know what you think of the backdrop. We're
Goodbye.
keep it anyway, but let us know what you think.
Let us know what you think about it. We're not going to do anything if you say it's bad.
Yeah.
Anyways, good night, Wonho. Goodbye, Wonho.
Goodbye, Wonho.
May you return from war unspoiled. And,
Unspoiled.
I don't know what to say. Anyways,
Just kidding.
bye. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Cool.
Unspoiled.